Hello guys, so now we shall be discussing regarding the mediastinal surface of the lungs. So on the mediastinal surface of the lungs, so previously we have talked what is a mediastinal surface, right? So in the mediastinal surface we have also talked about the root of the lung and what are the structures that are located there, right? So just for a quick recap, so these are the structures that are located on the root of the lung. I hope you remember, right? So now we shall mainly focus on what are the structures that are in relation with the mediastinal surface. It means what aorta is there, right? So in relation with the left lung, what are the structures that are located near the mediastinum? For example, near the left lung we have got some veins, some arteries and all. In the right lung also we have got in association with the right lung mediastinal surface, we have got right atrium, we have got, let us say, superior inferior vena cava and all, right? So we shall discuss what are the structures are in relation, okay, not present in. It is in relation with the mediastinal surface of the left lung and mediastinal surface of the right lung, okay. So I can just write it down. It would be good if you memorize the picture, right? But anyways, I'll write it down at the end. So mediastinal structures associated with the mediastinum. Structures associated with the mediastinum of lungs, or rather to say mediastinal surface of the lungs, okay. So first of all, what we shall do is that I have already told you, if these are the lungs, right, if these are the lungs, right, so this is the center part, this is the mediastinum, okay. So this surface whatever is there which is facing the center part here, this is called as a mediastinal surface. So what I am doing is that I am projecting these lungs, I am turning these lungs outward towards you. So when I am turning these lungs towards you, this surface which you can see here, right, this surface, this is called as a mediastinal surface. Now we shall see first of all the mediastinal surface of the left lung, then we shall look into the mediastinal surface of the right lung, okay. So let us see what are the mediastinal surfaces of the left lung, and then we shall look into the right lung. If you look into the mediastinal surface of the left lung, first of all let me draw the mediastinal surface of the lung. First let me draw the mediastinal surface of the lung. Right, so this is the mediastinal surface of the left lung. Now in this mediastinal surface of the left lung, obviously left lung will have its own root, right? So that is called as a root of the lung. Let us say that this is the root of the lung. All of you are aware with this picture. We have got eparterial bronchus, hyparterial bronchus. We have also discussed about the aorta, right? So these are the structures which are located over here. Now apart from this, there are few more structures which you need to understand over here. Now what are these other structures are? All of you know that we have got aorta. Now the other structures we have got, that is the aorta, right? So here we have got this aorta called as arch of aorta. What is this? This is called as an arch of aorta. Now arch of aorta, all of you know, it divides into, one is called as the left common carotid artery, another one is called as the left subclavian artery. So a little far we have got the left subclavian artery, okay. Now this arch of aorta descends down all the way like this, and this is called as a descending part of the aorta, okay. So this arch of aorta is descending down and it is called as a descending part of the aorta. Now behind this you have got another interesting structure over here. Now what is this structure? Behind this, all the way from here, you have got this structure which is coming down, right? So this structure over here is called as your esophagus, okay. So if I little bit highlight it, you would understand this, that this part over here which I have drawn right now, this shading part, right, so this part entirely is your esophagus. So what are the two structures so far we discussed? One is the arch of aorta, another one is your left subclavian artery, another one is your left common carotid artery, then you have got the esophagus, okay. So when I draw the esophagus, I should also draw the trachea part, yes or no? So there is also trachea over here, there is also trachea over here. So exactly over here you have got your trachea. right? So this part over here which I'm highlighting right now is your trachea, and yeah, to identify it, these are your tracheal rings. Okay, so this is your trachea. So even trachea is also located here. Now these are some of the anatomical structures which you can see. Now let us discuss about the structures which are vascular. Okay, the neurovascular bundle part. Now before that, one last thing I want to tell you, that exactly here you, if I zoom into this, right, if I zoom into this, exactly here I have got a duct like this, you see, right? Exactly where it is located, this duct is located on the esophagus, right? So this duct which I'm drawing it right now, this is called as thoracic duct. Where is it located? It is located on the surface of the esophagus, right? So this duct over here is called as your thoracic duct. So this duct over here is called as your thoracic duct. Located on what? Located on your esophagus. Located on your esophagus. And just side to it, what do we have? We have got the trachea. What do we have? We have got the trachea. Now, on the surface of the trachea, is there any other thing that you can tell? Yes, on the surface of the trachea also, you see this yellow color structure which I am drawing right now on the surface of the trachea. This yellow color structure is nothing but called as left recurrent laryngeal nerve. Okay, so what is this? This yellow color structure is called as left recurrent laryngeal nerve, left recurrent laryngeal nerve. And by the way, not to forget, said that this is your arch of aorta, right? And this one is your left common carotid artery, and this one is called as your left subclavian artery, Now here you have got two important nerves. What are these two important nerves? One is called as the left vagus nerve, another one is called as the left phrenic nerve. Now where are these nerves over here? So yeah, now all of you look here. So here you have got a nerve, here you have got a nerve that is coming down all the way like this. So this nerve which I am drawing here, this is called as the left vagus nerve. Now after this left vagus nerve, here you have got another nerve that is coming down like this. This is called as the left phrenic nerve. So what are these two nerves? This one over here is called as the left vagus nerve, and this one over here is called as the left phrenic nerve. So one we have is the left vagus nerve, another one we have is the left phrenic nerve. And this one over here is called as your cardiac notch. All of you know that, right? This is called as your cardiac notch. Now one last important structure I want to tell you here, right? So that is a blue color structure that is running all the way from the top till the bottom like this. This structure is called as the left phrenic vein. Okay, so what is this structure called as? This structure is called as the left phrenic vein. I know it is very difficult, right? It is a bit difficult to understand this picture. It is a bit difficult to remember. Anywhere in the anatomy, structures related to are very difficult, right? Let us say if I talk about splanchnology in the kidneys, structures related to the anterior surface of the kidney, structures related to the posterior surface of the kidney, these are really tricky and difficult to understand unless and until you look at the real body, okay? But still, if you practice this picture, right, again and again, or if you without even practicing, if you look at the picture again and again, it would be easy for you, right? It is not that a big deal, okay? Right, so what we do is that whatever structures we have written here regarding the left lung, right, we shall just write it down so that if you want to remember just those structures, it is well and fine. So this is the left lung, structures associated with your left lung, okay? This is the structures associated with the left lung. Now how do you remember those structures which are associated with the left lung? Remember it as SAALE, SALE, okay? What does S stand for here? S stands for subclavian artery. Now right or left subclavian artery? It is your left subclavian artery. So along with left subclavian artery, what is another artery here? Left common carotid artery. So LS here stands for left subclavian and left common carotid artery. So this is the first important thing. Coming to the second important thing, A here stands for ascending aorta. Actually this is an arch of aorta completely, but this initial part whatever I have written here, you see this part is called as your ascending aorta. This part is your ascending aorta. So when I tell ascending aorta, there is also an aorta down here which is descending down, right? So this is your descending aorta. Descending aorta, and not to forget that ascending aorta and descending aorta. Ascending as well as descending aorta. Now after this ascending and descending aorta, next important thing. What is the next important thing? Another A. What does A here stands for? A here stands for arch of aorta. What is this? Arch of aorta. Fourth important thing, L. What does L here stand for? Left ventricle. L here stands for left ventricle. So left ventricle is towards the left side of the lung. Okay, so it is very easy to remember. Right. Now fifth important thing is E. What does E here stand for? E here stands for esophagus. Esophagus. Now these are the basic structures which you have to remember. Other than this, what are the nerves here? What are the neurovascular bundles which we discussed? We shall discuss now. So we discussed something called as left recurrent laryngeal nerve, right? Let me highlight it. This would be easy. So we discussed left recurrent laryngeal nerve. That is one important thing, right? Left recurrent laryngeal nerve is one important thing. Another nerve which we discussed was left phrenic nerve, right? Next we have discussed left phrenic vein, okay? And next we have discussed the left vagus. So why am I writing all these things is that when I discuss right, all these left parts will become right. It means right recurrent laryngeal, right phrenic vein, right vagus and all. Okay. So it won't be difficult to remember these structures. The only difficult things are this box over here. Okay. So if you try to memorize this, then it would be well and good. So these are the structures that are located on the left side of the lung. Now let us look at the structures which are located on the right side of the lung. Okay, right side of the lung we don't have much structures, it is very easy. So you can just remember it very easily. On the right mediastinal surface, this is how the picture goes. So this is your right mediastinal surface. This is your right mediastinal surface. Now even in the right mediastinal surface also, you have got something called as what? You have got something called as esophagus. Okay, but before I draw that structure, the first structure all of you should remind me that I have to draw is the root of the lung. I hope you remember now. So this is the root of the lung, is the first structure I have to draw. Now after this, the next important thing is that here, exactly here, I have got a structure. Now this structure over here which I am drawing right now, this is called as your right atrium. What is this called as? This is called as your right atrium. Now draining into the right atrium, what is the vein that is entering into the right atrium, guys? Yeah. So for example, if I draw the heart like this, right, all of you know that this is your right atrium. Okay. So there is a structure that is coming from the top, there is a structure that is coming from the bottom. Structure that is coming from the top is called as superior vena cava. Structure that is coming from the bottom is called as inferior vena cava. Now show me where is superior and inferior vena cava. So this structure which you can see here like this, right? So this one over here is called as a superior vena cava. Okay. And sir, you explained azygos hemiazygos system, right? In that also you explained that there is azygos vein draining into superior vena cava. Yes. So there is an azygos vein like this. There is an azygos vein that is draining. See, this is an azygos vein. Okay. And these are other structures. I just don't want to mention them. Okay. So you just have to remember a few important structures. What is this? That this is your right atrium. Right atrium. this is your superior vena cava, okay, and this part over here is called as your azygos vein. Azygos vein. Now tell me, this azygos vein is in the form of an arch. So can I write it as arch of azygos vein? Arch of azygos vein. Okay, so this is a structure which you need to remember. And as usually, first structures which we have drawn here are your esophagus as well as trachea. So here also we will draw the same structures over here. Okay, what we'll draw is that we will draw the esophagus part over here. So let us say that this is your esophagus. So this entire part which you can see here is your esophagus. Okay, so this part over here is your esophagus. Now after this esophagus, what is the next part? You have got your trachea. So let us say this part over here is your trachea. You see, this part over here is your trachea. Okay, fine. Then you showed me superior vena cava. Then where is inferior vena cava? This is the place of inferior vena cava. So this is your inferior vena cava. What is this? This is your inferior vena cava. Okay, right. So these are the structures which you need to know. And previously on the surface of trachea, we have got left recurrent laryngeal nerve. So previously on the surface of the left side, we have got the left vagus nerve. So if there is left, there should also be right vagus nerve, right? So exactly here, this vagus nerve which I am drawing right now, right? So this is your right vagus nerve. So this part over here is your right vagus nerve. Okay, so this is your right vagus nerve. So we have got our right vagus nerve, we have got our arch of azygos vein, we have got our inferior vena cava, superior vena cava, right atrium, and obviously this is called as the root of the lung, right? And this is your esophagus. This is your esophagus, right? Now next important thing is that here we discuss something called as left phrenic nerve. Right? Now when there is left phrenic nerve, there should also be right phrenic nerve, right? So exactly here we have got our right phrenic nerve. So this part over here which is coming down like this is called as your right phrenic nerve. This part is called as your right phrenic nerve, right? So that's it. These are the structures which are located on the mediastinal surface of the right lung. So let me write it down. These are the structures which are located on the mediastinal surface of right lung. Okay. So after the structures which are located on the mediastinal surface of the right lung, we shall just list out those structures. Right, I'll just give you one small mnemonic, just remember that would be fine. So that one is called as your laser, L-A-S-E-R, laser. All of you know what is laser. Now instead of laser, just write it as a razor, R-A-S-E-R. What does R stands for? R stands for the first important thing, that is right atrium. Right atrium. Second important thing, A. A stands for the arch of azygos vein, that is arch of azygos vein. Third important thing is S. What is this S here? S here stands for superior and inferior vena cava. Okay, S here stands for superior and inferior vena cava. And fourth important thing is we have even got esophagus as well as trachea. Esophagus as well as trachea. And fifth important thing, the last one, R. R stands for obviously right phrenic nerve. Right phrenic nerve, and again another R here stands for right vagus nerve also. Right vagus nerve. Okay, so right vagus nerve, because we have got left phrenic nerve and left vagus nerve on the left side. Here we have got right phrenic nerve and right vagus nerve, right? So these are the structures which are located on the mediastinal surface of the right lung, and these are the structures which are located on the mediastinal surface of the left lung, right? So these are all the important things which you need to know. Thank you so much for watching my video. Goodbye.